whatever happened to them, it's unfortunate if other people overreacted, but everything I said about them is true.
Do you regret what you did to Rudy?
Of course I don't regret it. I told the truth. They were engaged in changing votes.
There's no proof of that.
Oh, you're damn right there is. Stay tuned.
I just want to be clear about what happened here. Rudy Giuliani is currently on trial as part of a staggering $43 million defamation suit. He has already lost. It is a fact of this case that he defamed Georgia election workers Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. At this point, the case is just to award damages. His own lawyer told jurors this week that an award in the tens of millions of dollars will, quote, be the end of Mr. Giuliani. And so in response to all of that, Giuliani's decided that his best course of action here is to go outside and further defame these two women. I know we joke about how Giuliani has lost his mind. Giuliani has lost his mind. And remember, this isn't even the only lawsuit that Giuliani is currently contending with. He's also being sued by Dominion Voting Systems, which last year settled with Fox News for an unprecedented $787 million. He's contending with the criminal RICO case in Georgia on charges of tampering with the state's election. And there's even reporting that he hasn't even been able to pay his own attorneys for their work representing him in other cases. And of course, Giuliani can't even make money because he's contending with disciplinary actions and faces disbarment. You would think amid all of that he might understand that going out in front of the cameras and metaphorically punching himself in the balls maybe isn't the best course of action here. Now the question becomes, could these new statements further imperil Giuliani in this ongoing case? Here's my Legal Breakdown co-host Glenn Kirshner discussing exactly that.
So it looks like nobody can accuse Rudy Giuliani of learning his lesson. He really stepped in it because after court yesterday, he talked to some of the reporters outside the courthouse and he doubled down. He said that he was telling the truth about Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman, quote, changing votes. That was a topic that was discussed in court today. Judge Beryl Howell, who's presiding over this defamation hearing, trying to determine how much Rudy Giuliani should pay Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman for the horrific defamation he inflicted on them and all of the consequences, the fallout. And the testimony today was absolutely heart-wrenching about what these two women went through as a result of Rudy's defamatory lies. And Judge Beryl Howell went directly to this question about what Rudy Giuliani said the day before, telling Giuliani's lawyer, you understand this could actually support another defamation charge or defamation case. And I'll tell you, Rudy Giuliani's lawyer was sort of between a rock and a hard place. And he actually said things about, Judge, he's 80 years old and I can't control everything he says. I think that is darn near a verbatim quote. But, Rudy Giuliani is combative in there. He's dismissive. He is insulting, even during the testimony of one of these women when she was breaking down and crying, the accounts from the courtroom where he was just kind of callously sitting there, head on his hand, elbow on the table, occasionally taking notes, completely unmoved by the emotion that was going on in that courtroom. So, yeah, the I think biggest question right now is, will Rudy Giuliani's new defamatory comments from yesterday make an appearance before this jury deciding the question of damages? And, from my experience as a lifetime criminal litigator, even though this is a civil case, I think the answer to that question is almost certainly yes. They will hear that during a hearing on how much Rudy should be made to pay for his defamatory comments, he defamed the plaintiffs all over again. They're seeking $43 million. I think when it comes to the jury award in this case, the sky's the limit.
And of course, to see episodes of our Legal Breakdown series, make sure to subscribe to this channel. But I want to be clear about something. This isn't about sticking it to Giuliani because he's a Republican. This is about the impact that Giuliani's actions have had on actual people. Here's some testimony from last year from the plaintiffs in this case, Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman. And keep in mind that when Giuliani defamed them on the world stage, he was the attorney for the most powerful person on the planet, scapegoating these two poll workers because he was that desperate to cry fraud to find a justification to undermine a presidential election. And he decided that destroying the lives of these two women doing their patriotic duty was a price that he was willing to have them pay.
Ms. Moss, can you describe what you experienced listening to former President Trump attack you and your mother in a call with the Georgia Secretary of State?
I felt horrible. I felt like it was all my fault. Like, if I would have never decided to be an elections worker, like, I could have done anything else, but that's what I decided to do. And now people are lying and spreading rumors and lies and attacking my mom. I'm her only child. Going to my grandmother's house. I'm her only grandchild. And my kid. It's just, I felt so bad. I just felt bad for my mom, and I felt horrible for picking this job and being the one that always wants to help and always there, and never missing not one election. I just felt like it was my fault for putting my family in this situation.
Well, it wasn't your fault. Your mother was kind enough to come speak with us earlier. Let's listen to her story in her words.
My name is Ruby Freeman. I've always believed that when God says that he'll make your name great, but this is not the way it was supposed to be. I could have never imagined the events that followed the presidential election 2020. For my entire professional life, I was Lady Ruby. My community in Georgia, where I was born and lived my whole life, knew me as Lady Ruby. I built my own business around that name, LaRuby's Unique Treasures, a pop-up shop catering to ladies with unique fashions. I wore a shirt that proudly proclaimed that I was, and I am, Lady Ruby. Actually, I had that shirt on. I had that shirt in every color. I wore that shirt on Election Day 2020. I haven't worn it since, and I'll never wear it again. Now I won't even introduce myself by my name anymore. I get nervous when I bump into someone I know in the grocery store who says my name. I'm worried about who's listening. I get nervous when I have to give my name for food orders. I'm always concerned of who's around me. I've lost my name, and I've lost my reputation. I've lost my sense of security, all because a group of people, starting with number 45 and his ally, Rudy Giuliani, decided to scapegoat me and my daughter, Shay, to push their own lies about how the presidential election was stolen.
If that doesn't break your heart, you might not have one. So look, I know that despite how shitty Giuliani is, the prospect of destroying someone's life by imposing a financial penalty of tens of millions of dollars may seem disproportionate, but destroying these women is exactly what Giuliani made the conscious decision to do. Their lives were quite literally destroyed because of what he so recklessly did. With the backing of the world's biggest bully, he viewed these women as little more than collateral damage in his scheme to help a criminal illegally retain the presidency. Giuliani facing financial ruin is the bare minimum that he deserves. So Giuliani will cry victim, but just know that no one forced him to do what he did. That was his choice. And as a former U.S. attorney himself, make no mistake that he knows better. He decided that he was above the law, and now he's learning the hard way that that couldn't be further from the truth. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.